So
Hi, Arshad.
the secretary
What do you want? What do you want to talk about?
Russia, as
Okay,
I said, the
thank you.
secretary had a conversation with Foreign Minister Lavrov. Apparently, can you give us a readout on that, and can you address the Russian Foreign Ministry's statement that Lavrov told the secretary that the removal of the Russian flags from Russian buildings in the United States was inadmissible, is reiterating that they're planning to file lawsuits against this, and his stating...
File lawsuits against the removal of the flag from their facilities?
Over the seizure of the properties, not over the removal.
Okay, let me back up a little bit and say our actions in when it comes to those facilities, we believe is perfectly legal. This is going back a few weeks now. We did this with a lot of thought in place, and we did it in a judicious fashion. When it comes to the flags, and I've certainly seen what Russian media has reported, and you so clearly listed that out now, the way that the Russian government and Russian media is reporting this. I can tell you this, the flags at the former Russian consular properties in San Francisco were respectfully lowered. They're safely stored within each of the buildings. I think there's no country in the world that pays greater respect to its own flag and to the flags of other nations. That is something that we take seriously. I can tell you the flag that flew here in Washington, D.C. was also taken down and is safely stored within the building right now. Russian authorities have been told that we would be able to return those flags certainly at their convenience.
And do you regard the respectful lowering and storage of the flags as perfectly legal? I just want to make sure that that's legal in your eyes. I can't imagine you would
Taking down a flag from a property that they've had to vacate, is that legal or not?
Yep.
That's a real question. I think that's actually a respectful thing to do, to take down the flag, to fold it up, to hold on to it for that government and offer it back to them. There are many governments around the world who wouldn't take that care of another nation's flag.
And how do you address the foreign ministry's reported contention that Lavrov, they said, conveyed to the secretary that your, quote, lawless behavior, close quote, runs counter to the United States' stated desire for a normal relationship with Russia?
I'm a little surprised at this line of questioning because it comes right out of, exactly what Russia would say, okay?
Well, I'm asking you to respond to what Russia said. I think that's kind of self-evident.
I hear you just parroting sort of Russian talking points. The actions that the United States government...
I'm asking you a question which is to respond to what the Russians said.
The actions that the United States government has taken with regard to Russian consulates and facilities has been perfectly legal. I want to be clear about that. We've talked about this for many months now. There is nothing that was inappropriate or done wrong in any kind of fashion.
So can you just address, why take them down? Why not just leave them there? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that's actually, my understanding is that part of our responsibility is to keep an eye on, and Robert, maybe we can get an answer on this by the end, but I believe our responsibility is to close up the facilities and make sure that they have been vacated and make sure that the properties are maintained to a certain degree. I believe that's our responsibility under the Foreign Missions Act. Is that correct?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
so I would consider that, and I can double check with our experts on this, who would know a lot more about it than I would, but that would be a part of it.
Okay. Well, if it is,
you're probably not going to let weeds grow out in the place.
You're going to
probably
take in
not
the mail, get the newspaper.
Probably get the mail and get the newspaper, and taking down the flag. And
right.
Guys,
I'm just
beyond
curious
that, this
if that
conversation.
No, I know, but I'm
just
just curious.
Get
Is
silly.
that standard SOP for when something like this happens? Do you remove all ornaments or whatever decorations?
Christmas tree lights or something like
Yeah.
that? Matt, I will check on that for you.
you.
Okay. All right. Hi, Lori.